Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Success Playbook, your guide to career pivots, entrepreneurial journeys, and opportunities you never saw coming. Today's guest is doing something bold and beautiful with a fruit you have probably ignored, jackfruit. Please welcome Sairaj, founder of Wakao Foods, India's first jackfruit-based brand and one of the most memorable founders from the Shark Tank India. How are you, Sairaj?
Hey Jatin, thank you so much. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me over. I'm really excited to be on the show.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's start at the beginning. You were a criminal lawyer and now you are a food entrepreneur. Uh, what was the moment that flipped the switch for you?
So honestly, I always wanted to be a lawyer. I studied for 5 years. I practiced for one whole year from morning till night, and then I realized that something was just not right. And I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I didn't want to do this. And then it was a decision that I took. I said that I can't be doing this. I always believe that when you're going in the morning to work, you should be really happy and enthusiastic and want to go to work. I felt like I was being dragged, and that's when I took this call. I said that no, I think I'm made for something else, and I quit law overnight. And I said, I didn't know what I was going to do. Like I said, I then started exploring different things. And I think this was the trigger. Just, I was not feeling happy. I was not enjoying what I was doing. And yeah, that was the
Amazing,
trigger.
amazing, great. I think that's something I think most of us feel in our longer professional journey when you get bored out of your routine and you want to kind of if it's your calling, then it's your calling. So great. I think something inside you, of course, went calling for you to start your venture. So great. That's amazing. But how did jackfruit come into the picture? Did you just wake up one day and go, I'm going to change India's relationship with this fruit?
So jackfruit came pretty late in my entrepreneurial journey. So for the people who don't know, I did three other ventures before starting Wakao Foods. And the journey was very simple. The day I started, I wanted to build a brand. And that was always the calling. I wanted to build a product and send it to the world. It would be proudly called a made in Goa product, made in India product, and would go to the world. But I didn't know what that product was and all. I was always on the lookout for it. So when lockdown happened, I had just finished my previous venture, which was the real estate venture, and the first phase of the lockdown was really scary, and people didn't know what to expect. And that's when I thought, what next? And I started exploring food. I realized that food had become a necessity. So I was looking at those native foods that were there, and I was exploring things like kokum, mango, and other things. But jackfruit was never on the radar, honestly. That's when a friend sent me one article. It was a video by Palki Sharma Upadhyay, now of First Post, then of Beyond. And the headline, the title of that video was the next superfood of the world, jackfruit. And I was like,
Interesting.
shit, jackfruit is something that literally grows in our backyard. It falls, it rots, no one even cares about it. And here, not Goa, not India, but the world was calling it a superfood. And
Wow.
that really got me thinking. And I started exploring, I started researching and reading a lot about it to understand why this is being called a superfood. And the more I read about it, the more I realized that this is not jackfruit, it's a jackpot. And there's so much that can be done with it. And I somehow there was a calling from within which said that probably this is your product, which can be converted into a brand and which can be taken to the world. So that's how
Wow.
it all came together.
Wow, wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. And I love the story of how it all came together for you by researching more and by finding a news article around it. So that's amazing. And yeah, of course, Wakao is now known for sustainable, high fiber, cholesterol free jackfruit products that are actually cool. What was the hardest part about building this category from scratch?
So, I keep saying this to people that I feel that we've almost done an innovation. People always knew jackfruit. I believe 80% of India has eaten jackfruit in some form or the other, but no one
Hmm,
had ever seen jackfruit from the lens that we were looking at it. They
hmm.
always say that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So the way I saw jackfruit, to make the people see jackfruit from that lens was tough. And we had to educate, we had to go around telling people, ki, boss, jackfruit has so much potential and we've just missed it all these years.
Hmm,
We've just
hmm.
overlooked it. We've not realized it. Whenever I went to a chef, the chef always said that, yeah, I worked with jackfruit. I love jackfruit. पर वो सस्टेनेबल कैसा है साल
Hmm,
में 3-4 महीने मिलता है वो काटना
hmm,
कूटना इतना मुश्किल होता है इट्स सो डिफिकल्ट टू गेट इट राइट how do I even make this or put it on my menu? And
hmm,
that's when I realized and I told them that we have the solution to all your problems as
hmm.
far as jackfruit is concerned. The versatility is huge. So the toughest thing was always to explain to people, to get them to understand our point of view, our vision with jackfruit, what can be done with jackfruit. No one had ever imagined a sausage being done from jackfruit. Yeah. No one had ever thought of a burger patty being done from jackfruit. No one ever
Mm,
imagined a dish like a butter jack. जो हम बटर चिकन
mm.
बोलते हैं वो बटर जैक में आता है. So explaining this one step at a time, taking it to consumers, telling the chefs that this is what can be done, doing trials, getting feedback, was the tough part, was very, very tough. And
Interesting.
more so because this all started during the lockdown. It was in December of 2020 that we launched. Work started on it in February or March of 2020. So this was during the
Interesting.
peak of the lockdown. I had to travel extensively to Kerala, where we started manufacturing this product. Kerala was the highest infested place for COVID then. So, these
Wow.
challenges were all there, but the bigger challenge was always to tell the consumer what you're trying to make. There was no background to it. There was nothing that was there before. It was not a new version of chips that were being introduced or a beverage that people were having. This is something different. It was unique. So that had its
Right.
own challenges.
Amazing. Amazing. No, this is that's amazing. And I think you've come a long way from just cleaning the jackfruit to kind of making it ready to eat to increasing its shelf life and it has really come a long way for you. So how was that journey and how was that entire journey of making it ready for the audience? Yeah.
So it was a long journey. It was bits by bits. Even today we are improving every single day. We take feedback very, very constructively and we work on it. So there's a lot of hardcore R&D that has gone into it. People think that it's very simple. A lot of times, people they try to compare our product. आप क्यों इतने में बेच रहे हो? They don't
Hmm.
understand that वो मार्केट में जो मिलता है वो 5 दिन रुकेगा. उसके ज्यादा नहीं, वो खराब हो
Hmm.
जाएगा. हमारा जो प्रोडक्ट है वो 1 साल रहता है in its
Hmm.
natural form,
Hmm.
without any preservatives, without any refrigeration. तो कुछ ना कुछ तो R&D है, तो उसका भी पैसा होता है, वो बनाने में पैसा होता है, वो वैसे रखने में पैसा. So getting all of this right was very tough. And
Hmm.
I'm a strong believer of one thing, and I believe all entrepreneurs should know this, that you need to know what you're good at, what are your
Hmm.
strengths, but you need
Hmm.
to know with much more clarity what you're not great at. So there you need to hire the best people to do that thing for you. And
Hmm.
that's why we believe in hiring the best consultants, the best artistic people, the best
Hmm.
designers to get things which
Hmm.
we are not great at. So we have a
Hmm.
very good team of consultants, of chefs who really work with these
Amazing.
products and come out with different things that you taste now and you see. And it's always work in progress. It keeps on improving one day at a time. This
Wow.
is a technology that we use. Retort packaging is something that we use, and it's a
Hmm.
simple heating process. And based on the various permutations and combinations that we want the product in, the shape and the form of the product and the taste profile of the product, the R&D revolves around it. So there's a lot of hard work that goes into devising all of these things. I'll give you a simple example. Like we have 3 formats of raw jack. We have a soft, we have a hard, we have a minced. Each one of them have a different R&D to get the
Hmm.
product. Ultimate,
Hmm.
the outcome of the product is the same, but its format
Hmm.
in which it is served is different. And for that, there's
Hmm.
extensive R&D that goes into it.
No, that's so amazing and good to hear about the innovation you've done with a product like jackfruit. So you've really come a long way from where it started and how consumable it has become, how easy to use it has become for chefs. And glad that it all kind of came together in this interesting way for Wakao Foods. You have also gone international. How did that happen? What does it say about the Indian food innovation scene abroad? So can you also shed some light there?
So when I started this, or when I quit law, like I said, the aim was always to build something in India and take it to the world. And that was
Right.
always so because I was on Shark Tank and because I was on TV, and there were a lot of highs and different moments in life. But the biggest high I've always got is when our product goes to another country. And our first export consignment was to Dubai, and that was a very special feeling. It was really nice when we sent our first load there. Just
Hmm.
for the upcoming entrepreneurs, let me say this, that a lot of our export inquiries come through LinkedIn, by the way. That's a very strong platform and everyone should explore it. Also, I
Wow.
travel quite a bit to different expos that happen. I go to the Gulf Food Expo quite regularly. I've been to Anuga in Germany. So I keep visiting these expos. We have also exhibited at many exhibitions in India, which gives us that a lot of inquiries. It generates a lot of leads. So through
Hmm.
that, through conversions, that also is very important. So that's important on that. So how do you get export leads? Is through all of these. these different mechanisms. But speaking about the Indian food scene internationally, it's big, man. Jatin, it's
Mhm.
blowing. I'm telling you. I feel that the international market is such a big opportunity. It's
Right,
huge for Indian food products. One is that the Indian diaspora is so big in international
right. That
countries,
is true.
I mean, in other countries. But for a product like us, it's not limited to the Indian diaspora. We sell to
Mm.
everybody. So
Mm.
just jackfruit in its form of being an amazing meat replacement for the international market is also huge.
Right.
And that's something that we are really promoting in the international market, and we are trying to push that narrative there.
Right, right. No, I 100% agree. The world is becoming more conscious, especially the countries abroad, mainly the countries with really good buying power. Everyone is moving from just eating something to actually eating something which is good and healthy for their bodies. So, and you can see that in the trends. You can
Absolutely.
see makhanas picking up and a lot of these things
Absolutely.
which are superfoods kind of picking up. So I can totally understand how jackfruit will also kind of gain its popularity, gain its trend, and will kind of pick up even more in the near future. So glad. I think it's really wonderful for Wakao to kind of keep expanding as you are. And now also talking about Shark Tank and of course your pitch was amazing at Shark Tank. Of course, I
Thank you.
remember of course watching your episode with my wife, and I've seen your passion like even before we started speaking. I've seen your passion on the Shark Tank, and I was just telling my wife that I've not seen someone so passionate about jackfruit as passionate as Sairaj. So that's
Yeah.
I mean it's really good to kind of see in an entrepreneur. So that's amazing. So you were also part of the only all woman deal on Shark Tank, and how did that feel? What changed for Wakao after the show aired? So can you shed more light there? Yeah.
So I keep telling anyone who I meet that who asks me this, that I had a life pre Shark Tank and post Shark Tank. My life completely changed, and not only my life, the life of our company, our brand also.
Right.
India is a very funny country. If you come on TV for whatever reason, for even 2 minutes, that's enough. That it changes everything. And
True.
then you remember Shark Tank was on prime time on Sony Television. So
Right.
the
Wow.
and it was
Hmm.
an
Hmm.
everyone. It
Hmm.
built
Hmm.
always, and that built a lot of confidence in our customers, in our consumers, because
Right.
you need to realize one thing: this is food, and before putting anything in your mouth, you really think whether it's good or it's good for your health, it's how
True.
bad it could be for you. So that built tremendous value for us. Other than that, Shark Tank is a badge. It's like a badge of authority that this is a certified Shark Tank certified brand, and no one can take that away from us today. It's
Right.
remained with us lifelong,
Right.
and
Right.
that recall is there. And at the end of the day, your products have to speak for yourself. It can give you
Mhm.
that 5 seconds of fame, but then if that
Right.
longevity has to remain, if people have to remember you,
Right.
the product needs to be good, and you need to
True.
live up to the expectation and the hype that is built by the show. So I
True.
think in
True.
that way we've been lucky to keep this movement and this momentum going. People still see us, they recognize us, they like our pitch, they like our products, and that recall has remained. And I think a large part of that is because our product is good and our team is good, and we've learned how to use that craze that was created around it, and we've kept using it, and will for me that's very special, and we'll always कहीं पे भी अगर हमारा एक्सपो चल रहा है यार, even in our QSR that we're going to form, there'll always be a TV with that pitch being played there, because that's for
Right.
us, that's our big moment,
Claim to fame.
so that'll always be there. You can say that. So there were many moments where you feel
Right.
nice, you feel validated for what you're doing, and think there are many moments like that. But if you ask me, there's one special moment that was there where I felt really nice, and it was a good feeling from within, and it came just out of the blue. Is when a friend of mine who was traveling to Singapore sent me a picture. In fact, there were two moments. One was when a friend of
Right.
mine sent me a picture from Singapore, and it was of, if I'm getting it right, it was, I think, Holiday Inn in Singapore, Holiday Inn, and
Wow.
on their menu, or not even on their
Right.
menu, on the banquet, I think it was the food का उनका जो buffet था,
Right.
there was a special segment, and it was jackfruit-based products, and there was a poster of Wakao Foods. It was our
Wow.
poster which was there, our branding, and they said these products are made by Wakao Foods. This is an Indian brand which makes products from jackfruit, and a Holiday Inn in Singapore doing it without any intervention from us. I thought that was really, really special
Crazy.
because that
Wow. Wow.
built credibility with them. They thought it was worth putting our brand out there, and I thought
Wow.
that was really
Wow.
special. And the other one was, in fact, this was the second one. The first one was when a friend was again traveling to Dubai, and on one of
Right.
the shelves in one of the good retail outlets, they found our products. So she clicked a picture and she said, "So proud to see a
Wow.
friend and a fellow Goan product whose product is here in Dubai." And that was a nice feeling. These are small moments that make it worth all the effort that we put in and the stress and all the turmoil that we
Wow.
go through as entrepreneurs. These small moments make you feel nice and make it feel all worth it.
True, true. All the midnight oil जो burn हो रहा है, that you just feel worth your effort you put in. So no, amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of restaurants you work with would also use your branding on the menu along with the product and saying as seen on Shark Tank kind of thing near the dish which is basically made from Wakao food. So that's
Yeah.
really, that also gives them a boost, like their menu a boost. So good. I mean, that's so amazing for the brand to kind of grow. And I'm glad that you are on this mission and you have something really interesting going on here. Now, this is where it gets exciting for the listeners. You are also offering a way to kind of partner with Wakao Foods. If you can share a little bit more on that, like how people can participate in your mission to kind of provide the superfood to the world. So can you share more on that?
So you know what, Jatin, I realized one thing, and I'm a firm believer that if we have to build a brand which can test the time, test time and just grow really quickly and become a big thing and spread the message of jackfruit and take the superfood to the world, we really need more partners with us. We need more hands. We
Right.
need people who have a similar vision. We are looking for partners, for franchise partners, not for distributors. So we are very clear. Okay, we now
Right.
we want to ditch the traditional way of reaching out to the market, and we want to partner with people in different regions. So
Hmm.
here what we are doing now is we are looking for like-minded partners who have expertise in their region. We
Hmm.
don't intend entering separate regions everywhere as Wakao Foods, as the brand. We want to partner with you. If you have the expertise and the reach in a particular region, you get exclusivity for the region. You sell all our Wakao products in that region to all the hotels and restaurants and cafes and caterers. There is a
Wow.
big market. What we've realized is till now we were doing it ourselves with a few of very small time distributors here and there. But we realized that if we can do so much just by sitting here in Goa, we can service so many restaurants, so many places, and with a 90% repeat, every restaurant keeps buying from us. It hit me that if we have our partners in that location there, doing that effort, running there and getting business from there, it's going to be a much bigger market. The
Hmm.
suddenly going to,
Hmm.
the horizon is suddenly going to burst for all of us together. So that's the
Hmm.
understanding. We have a very strong SOP set up for
Hmm.
post onboarding. So once you
Hmm.
become a partner, we have a very detailed way of selling the product, of how it's
Hmm.
supposed to be sold, how you're supposed to approach. It's like a proper handbook. Right? It has everything in it. Our team is there to handhold and to make sure that you get. So we today supply, Jatin, to most of the five stars, like all your Hiltons, the Hyatts, the
Right.
Marriotts, the Tajes. So we supply to
Wow.
so many amazing properties. So each of these places have these properties. They have much better properties. They have many more parlors, dessert places, cafes. So it's just impossible for us to reach from here. So now what we believe is that
Hmm.
we get some amazing partners with us, hold hands, और ये पूरा उड़ाएंगे हम फिर.
Wow. Wow. No, that's so amazing and really good to hear. Like as the saying goes, like if you have to go fast, go alone, and if you have to go far, take people along with you, go together.
100%.
It's so good to hear that you have a model where people can participate, they can kind of join your mission, and of course there's also a very interesting ROI, high ROI model, low investment model, no cold storage model, because of course your product has a long shelf life. This really sounds like a good business opportunity or a dream business opportunity for partners who are basically looking to become foodpreneurs. What kind of or what profile of these partners are you looking for, Sairaj? Like, do you have something in mind?
So,
Yeah.
so Jatin, I'll tell you one thing. What we are doing now with the partners is nothing new. It's just replicating what we've done all this while.
Amazing. Right.
Okay, so it's a tried and tested model. It's just what
Hmm.
we've done successfully. Now we're telling you, you can also do it successfully. We'll handhold you in the process. It's very
Right.
simple, but the region is yours. It's not my
Right.
region. It's your region. I sell only through you. I don't
Right.
sell to anyone directly. I only sell through you. So here we need people who are like us. Very
Hmm.
simple. You need people. If you can feel my energy right now, we need people like this. We need people who are just who believe, who have a fire in the belly, who want to build something that really has value. Our aim here is to not sell a product. Our aim is to accentuate or increase or improve the menus of different restaurants and cafes. It is to
Hmm.
give them a product which can completely change their vegetarian menu.
Hmm.
I'm a strong believer, and the more I sell this product, the belief becomes even stronger that
Hmm.
jackfruit can replace paneer. Our TAM
Hmm.
is every paneer eating person. It has
Hmm.
such versatility. That
Hmm.
can be just you can do like n number of products and dishes with jackfruit.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
we need a profile of a person of a team which is hungry, which has a
Hmm.
fire in the belly, which
Hmm.
understands the Horeca market, which understands
Hmm.
hotels, restaurants, the food business. That's primary. You need to
Hmm.
understand that. If you don't, then there's no point. You cannot have an electrical guy trying to sell food. You need to understand that.
Yeah.
So I think if you have these and if you have that amount that we require, which is not much, but it's basic for running this kind of a business. You need a small
Hmm.
space. You need a sales team that as we mentioned in our franchise docket. If you have these small things, which is not the sky and the moon, it's very, very normal and basic. But more than that, you need to have a very, very strong passion to build a food business in your region. And I think if you have that, we are a perfect match.
Amazing, amazing. And like over and above that, of course, there is also this thing of repeatability. Like the restaurants they sign up with, they actually get a business which is recurring. So that's something really good they establish. And as you said, like you've already built that in Goa, and they can basically do it in their regions. And for all the budding entrepreneurs out there who are actually looking to get
So
into this,
Jatin, I'll just add to this. I'll just add to this.
yeah,
So we've not built it only in Goa. We sell to over 500 restaurants across India. So there
right,
is we sell all across India. We sell it directly
wow,
in a lot of places right now.
wow, wow,
So
wow,
the repeatability, when you say repeatability, I'll explain to you that very quickly. We have over a 90% repeat, and the
wow.
the reason for this is that chefs used to not put the product on the menu because of
Hmm.
its non-availability or the difficulty in cooking it.
Hmm.
Now that we give you a
Hmm.
ready-to-cook product and we made it available
Hmm.
365 days a year,
Hmm.
most of the chefs
Hmm.
are putting it on the menu. And once it's on the menu, once a person eats the product made from
Hmm.
jackfruit, trust
Hmm.
me, there is a
Hmm.
repeat and people want it and they have to
Hmm.
come back to us. So,
Hmm.
so that's the major reason why this repeatability is there.
That's amazing. That's really good to know, Sairaj, and I'm sure a lot of people watching would want to get associated with Wakao, would want to get associated with the brand. So that's amazing to hear. Now, of course, enough chat around the model. Now, coming to a rapid fire round. Of course, we need to have a. This needs to be fast. This needs to be fun. This needs to be rapid. So yeah, I'll quickly ask you some questions. Yeah. So one word to describe your startup journey.
Breathtaking, sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way.
Great. Favorite jackfruit dish that's not in your menu yet.
This is a product we've just developed for our QSR, and I think it's mind blowing. It's a ghee roast wrap, jackfruit ghee
Wow.
roast wrap.
Wow.
Killer.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Biggest myth about jackfruit?
That it's a very biggest myth is that it's a very high diabetes fruit. People compare the products that we make is from the raw jackfruit, not from the ripe one.
Hmm.
So a lot of
Hmm.
people confuse it for that, and they think it's the sweet one which has a lot of sweet. Actually, our
Hmm.
product doesn't have any taste at all. So that's a
Hmm.
myth we try to break every time.
Very interesting. What's harder, like a courtroom debate or running a startup?
Hands down running a startup, man. Nothing can get harder
One
than this.
one business you wish you had.
There are many, but from the food space, because we are in it now and we are so deep in it, I think McDonald's. It is like an iconic brand, and to tell you very honestly, that's my biggest inspiration, and we are trying to build something similar to that. We're starting with the
Very
first outlet,
interesting.
we're starting our own thing, but yeah, that's my McDonald's is a
Amazing. Franchise the whole goddamn thing.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm sure the founder must be your favorite. So very
I
interesting.
love that movie. I love that movie.
If not jackfruit, what's the next big superfood?
There are a few of it, but I think, I really believe mushrooms is an amazing product. It's a nice superfood. It's very versatile. Again, you can do a lot of things with mushroom. Moringa is again something that's very, very good and it's upcoming, but I think mushrooms is good.
Interesting. Very interesting. And describe Wakao in a hashtag.
Hashtag India Bole Wow with Wakao.
Amazing, amazing. That's really interesting to know. So this has been a wild and delicious episode for sure. Sairaj, thanks so much for sharing your journey here. Before we go, where can people try Wakao Foods, or like how can they get in touch with you to become your partners?
So you can try our products. Very recently, we've got onboarded with Zepto. So we are across India on Zepto. You can find our products. You can find it on our website, wakaofoods.com. Reach out to us on the website. Reach out to us on probably info@wakaofoods.com. You can get in touch with us on our Instagram page, on LinkedIn, wherever you wish to. We are looking for some amazing franchise partners. We are looking for partners who believe in our vision and who want to come along with us in this growth story. So if you think you are the right fit and you're interested in partnering with us, reach out to us on all of this. You can even directly write to me on any of the
Amazing.
platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So, folks, if you haven't already, go try Wakao. And if you're a budding entrepreneur looking for a future forward, sustainable business to launch, reach out and explore becoming a Wakao partner. This could be your next movement. Thanks a lot, Sairaj. It was wonderful to have you on the show, and
Thanks,
really
Jatin.
good to kind of know more about the Wakao story, Wakao journey. And I wish really great success for Wakao for you. Really love the passion, really love the energy. Thanks,
Thanks,
Sairaj.
Jatin. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Bye.